Wow. Justice in reverse is, I feel for some of you, feeling like life has been unfair, and perhaps for some of you having been internal and retreating from certain circumstances in your life that you didn't feel like you were getting your just outcome or reward. And especially with the star in reverse here, certain areas of your life not working out to a level of satisfaction for you, Taurus, in January. So I'm going to pull some clarifier cards for these. And we're coming out of the full moon lunar eclipse on January 31st. I'm recording this on February 2nd, and these videos will go up on the 4th. So I'm wondering what has come up for you, Taurus, during these full moon energies. It was really intense. I'm here in Sedona, and I certainly felt it. And I know that so many people are going through some major transitions right now and doing their best to honor their truth and their authenticity and discovering precisely what that is for each person and for each circumstance, and how can you show up in your life in a way that feels authentic and like you're not leaving yourself out in the cold in your communications with others, in your partnerships, relationships, your work life. So the Empress in reverse, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So I feel like for some of you, Taurus, you're feeling a little stuck. And having contemplated certain areas of your life, and this is going to be different for each of you listeners since you're all individuals and your lives play out in unique ways, however this is resonating for you. So it could be a job, it could be a partnership, a relationship, of it not feeling satisfactory, or you getting out of these situations an emotional fulfillment that you would feel happy with. And again, these are energies coming out of January. So I'm curious to flip over the February cards. And maybe in your work life or a project that you've been handling or having worked on for maybe the last 3 months, the last 3 years, I feel like it's longer than that, so about 3 years, maybe some new truth has come to light that through this full moon energy, Taurus, that has given you pause and has really left you feeling like that's not what I expected to have the outcome be with the Empress in reverse on the Justice. It's not feeling like the culmination that you were aiming for is ever going to happen with these two cards in reverse together. And they are two major arcanas. And maybe in a situation, I'm seeing a lot of red here with the Empress sitting on a red chair and the Justice with the red and the man journeying away from a situation. But in this case, reverse, he's not able to, not having the passion for this situation like you had in the past, or so you've lost a certain amount of passion in either partnership. So I'm trying to give you different areas of life that it could be relating to, Taurus. Or maybe it's just completely a general feeling of not feeling passionate in your life, not feeling lit up, not excited to get out of bed every morning to put your energy forth into what you have to face, and in whatever area of life you're having to approach and deal with coming out of January. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over the February cards, Taurus. The Wish card, the Nine of Cups, upright. The High Priestess, upright. And the Five of Swords. So, let me pull these up to the camera for you. Hope the lighting is okay. I've been moving stuff around. Okay. So, I'm feeling like this retreat that you've perhaps been feeling like you've wanted to pull back in a certain area from your life and not deal with people. I feel like it's this energy that you've been pulling back from, and intuitively knowing that these arguments, squabbles, conversations that have been of a negative bent, you're really not wanting to engage with these particular people because you know how different it can be, and maybe in the space that you're approaching or have been approaching, you haven't felt excuse me, a certain sense of solidity in yourself in order to be like, okay, if I'm going to be talking to this person, I know I'm going to blow up. So I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. And trying to reside in this space with the Nine of Cups of emotional fulfillment and wholeness, and seeking that from within instead of trying to grab at other people or outside circumstances to bring you to a sense of satisfaction. So I'll clarify these cards for you, Taurus. The Three of Cups. Interesting. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, and the King of Swords. So as these people are approaching you, you're definitely through February going to feel a little bit defensive. And that's only going to escalate those difficult situations, Taurus. And you know that. And I know you know that because the High Priestess is here, the card of inner knowing, with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, is pointing to these arguments and squabbles and the way that somebody is approaching a situation in your life. If you meet them with similar resistance, with similar angst, or with similar anger, you know that it's not going to pay off. So I feel like you're retreating from certain parts of your life, and maybe there's a little bit of an indulgence happening for you, as like you don't want to deal with this, so you're going to create your own party over here. And I know, Taurus, as the first earth sign, you have a refined appreciation for sensual things and food and drink. So I'm wondering in February if you're not turning to those vices. I feel like these are coming up as more vices instead of a healthy relationship with food and drink, in order to not have to feel this emotion, which can be painful if you're feeling alienated by certain people in your life and not receiving the support from your partnerships that you're carrying with you into February. I'm going to flip over the end of February cards, moving into March. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Strength card, and the Chariot. So with the Chariot, I feel like you want to run away. Where are you going to go? Wherever you are, there you are, Taurus. But with the Strength, I feel this feeling of you wanting to pull away, but you're going to stick it out and do some heavy brainstorming. And I feel like it's going to be in your alone time. and not with these people, on how you can flip this Ace of Pentacles over so that your life feels abundant again and in harmony with universal abundance flowing to you. I feel like the flow has been a little bit obstructed for you, Taurus, in the recent past, and you're ready and willing to take it on as from the middle of February to, and that's going to be in your outer world, since the solar eclipse is going to happen in the middle of February in your 10th house. If you're Taurus rising and the Taurian suns in their solar chart. So I'm seeing you employing some fortitude, and I know you have it in you. Oh, that wanted to come out. The Lovers. Yeah, because you want to be experiencing this Lovers card without having to charge at people, because when you charge at people, these are just coming out. The situation gets tied up very quickly, and people feel left out in the cold. And I feel like you're really taking it on in this solar eclipse that's happening in the middle of the month, Taurus. However that applies to you, and whatever situations there's this stuckness that you're wanting to avoid and not deal with, because you've come to a point of so much mental anguish over them, and you feel like you need to stop the crazy train. Like, just pull the emergency brake and take a pause, because how things have been dealt with in the recent past isn't giving you what you want. And I don't feel like you're going anywhere, even though internally you're desiring to escape, and maybe it is through this Three of Cups, and trying to equate it in your heart with, okay, if I'm not getting the satisfaction over here, I'm going to create it for myself. But I don't necessarily feel like it's in the most balanced or healthy way, Taurus. So just be aware of that, and I'll clarify these cards for you. There it is again and again. So the Page of Swords, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Swords on the Chariot. So yeah, you're going to be dealing with this, because the confrontation that's happening in your life right now, Taurus, you may be able to temporarily escape it through partying or food and drink or avoidance, or binge watching YouTube videos online. And it might be giving you some immediate solace, Taurus, but ultimately you're going to come to a place where towards the end of February that you'll realize that that's not getting you ultimately what you want either. And returning back to your roots, I want to say roots of very simple ways of communicating and connecting with your divine source, is going to help you feel more balanced and secure in the world, and getting out of this feeling mentally trapped and wanting to escape and wanting to run away from your current situation. The guidance that's coming through, Taurus, is that you need to stay put, and even though this is feeling really uncomfortable, finding ways to be with the discomfort and comforting yourself from a higher place, and finding methods of self-soothing that isn't in opposition to this, because when we resist something or we're trying to fix something in that same mindset, we're getting more of the same. And it's feeling like a very heavy mental energy here with all of these swords. Getting out into nature and fresh air and giving yourself the space from particular partnerships that you're feeling stuck on or completely frustrated with and feeling like you want to throw on the towel, but I don't necessarily think this month you're going to, even though you feel like to. There's some work to be done and some lessons to be gained and some wisdom, and you'll come to realize that towards the end of February. Just seeing if there's any other messages that want to be shared and revealed for you, Taurus, in this reading. I'm also going to be pulling an oracle card. So reaching out to really good, solid friends who have had your back in past situations, who know your story, who know your history, who know who you really are, and, not to call them up and to necessarily vent or bitch or complain, but approaching them for some higher guidance. And I want to say some outside perspective might help. And these people or a particular person, and it could be a woman, is outside of the circle of people that you would normally go out and socialize with. It's somebody who has a much more grounded energy in your life, Taurus, that maybe it's somebody from an old congregation that you used to visit that you haven't in a while, or some type of organization or club or professional organization, even if this is happening in your career or financial life, to reach out to them for some advice. And I think they're going to be really helpful for you towards the middle and into the end of February, moving into March. And I feel like their assistance is going to help you deal with and move through the mental anguish that you're experiencing in February and feeling like you want to run away. They're going to show you a doorway that in a place where it wasn't apparent to you beforehand, Taurus. So I hope that made sense. I'm going to also pull an Archangel Michael card for you guys from the Doreen Virtue deck. And for a little bit more guidance from the angelic realm, Taurus. Honey, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. And I'll read you the prayer. Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. So, if this situation, Taurus, is abusive, I think, and for some of you that's not going to resonate, and for some of you it may, this very well could be the month to get some outside assistance in order to help yourself and better take care of yourself. I'm going to read to you what it says in the book. Archangel Michael has heard your pleas for help, and his answer comes to you through this card. Leave. You've been enduring a toxic situation for far too long, investing time and energy that isn't yielding healthful results. This experience isn't beneficial for you or the other people involved. You don't need to remain in negativity, beloved one. Walk away without guilt or hesitation. The angels will assist you to ensure that the parting is as harmonious as possible, and Archangel Michael will shield and protect you. Follow your inner guidance every step of the way, and then transition will be smooth. So again, if this situation for some of you who are listening has been destructive and toxic and even emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, I feel like it's more of a mental abuse for some of you that could be listening, then reach out for some local help. There are organizations that can assist you in relocating if you need to, and getting to a safe place, Taurus. That's of utmost importance for you. And I know for some of you this isn't going to resonate because it is a general reading. But that was the message from the angels. So for some of you that will definitely resonate. And know that you are guided and know that you are protected at the end of the day through all of this, no matter what is happening in your life. And listen to that deep inner knowing of what the correct action is for you, Taurus, and you won't be led astray. And in doing that, I feel like this will turn over for you in whatever way it needs to. The Ace of Pentacles, with new opportunities and a renewed sense of hope in life without this negativity surrounding you. Okay. That maybe was a little bit of heavy stuff, but that's what came through